Basketball fans, welcome back. So the US Monastir versus Ville de Dakar game was the last game for this conference in game day 6, and I must say this was the game that when it happened, when the clock hit 0-0, that's when we knew who had qualified and who had not qualified. And in this one, I'm going to talk about Ville de Dakar's performance, and I must say the most disappointing team that we have seen coming from Senegal. So full credit to US Monastir. They finished top in the group. I had not put a lot of stock in US Monastir. I didn't think that they looked the same because of their performances last season. Even BAL season 3 didn't make the playoffs. BAL season 4 they made the playoffs, but they got knocked out. But in this one, I feel like the Ville de Dakar, they had I thought that they had what it takes because of the roster that they had, but unfortunately things didn't pan out for that team that's coming from Senegal. The home team couldn't even defend home court, and it finished off with a record of 2-4. The US Monster team finished out the record of 4-2, and Ville de Dakar in the second half of games that they played, they didn't even win a single game. So the first round they had a 2-1 record. At some point they were up, but in the final 3 game stretch that they had, where they played that round robin to finish off 6 games, they lost 3 straight games. So this was it was very pathetic, and I must say they lost the AS Ville de Dakar. They lost to Creole Star twice, lost to US Monastir, and lost to Petro de Luanda. So this was sad. And this team, Ville de Dakar, they were looking like that team that are going for an all-in run this season, but hey, they didn't make it, and that's just about it. They had a losing record of 2-4. At least they didn't go out like the Stade Malien who went 0-6, given like the talent that Ville de Dakar had. But anyway, I mean, US Monastir, they came out and balled very well. I must say, this was a very good performance. They shot, USM shot 43% from the field, 57% on 2-point field goals, and 33% from the line. So in majority of the major statistical categories, USM checked all the boxes, and USM had no weak spot in this final game. Even despite like the performance they had, even shooting wise from downtown, which you're not accustomed to them, shooting below 35%, they were still able to win this game. And AS Ville de Dakar, this team just looked beatable, and they never looked the same in those second half games. The second half of game, that stretch, they looked very weak because they got out rebounded, they got beat in their assists, and they got beat in blocks. Especially a team like the Ville Dakar team that has the BAL Defensive Player of the Year in 2022 and BAL champion Ater Majok couldn't even record a single block. So that is something that that's something that was amazing. Then in this game against US Monastir, we had Osiris Eldridge. So he's another guy that has been balling out in the USM team, and he has been very good. He had 22 points. Babakar Sane, he had 13, and Patrick Hardy Jr. had 12. So you could see the US Monastir team, they didn't have like those big names like that, because at some point they had Ater Majok when they won the 2022 championship. But in this one, you could see Ater Majok played for the Ville Dakar team, and they couldn't even make it to the BAL playoffs, which is very unfortunate. All those resources, all that talent in that roster, and they couldn't even make it to the playoffs. Then Babakar Sani from US Monastir had a double-double of his own of 13 points and 12 boards. Firas Layani with 10, Rondan Slimane with 5 rebounds. So Firas Layani, he has been another guy that I've been monitoring. He had 10 rebounds and 3 assists in this one. Osiris Eldridge, not only in points, but also in assists for USM. He had 4 assists. Will Perry, he has been that guy that he has shown flashes of brilliance, but sometimes you can see the players, the top talent in the Ville Dakar team just keep going on and off every single time, and it's very difficult to find that consistency, and that's the reason as to why they lose these games. So it is what it is. So Will Perry, he had a game high 20 points for Ville Dakar. Maktar Gueye with 18 and 13 for Samba 4. So when these games started, I saw the Ville Dakar team just on top of the group. I honestly felt like when I was covering those first half of games, I felt like this is a team that can go all the way and just continue and just they're a lock for the BAL playoffs. But boy, was I wrong, because man, they put on a stinker in the last three stretches of games. Mark Targuay with 11 boards and Will Perry with 7 assists in there. So this is a very underwhelming performance. Even as you look at the stat sheet, it is crazy, because USM were that team that banked on good coaching and experience, especially the experience they've had. They've never missed an edition. So AS Ville de Dakar, this is their first time as a team, but the faces in that team, like 4 players have already played in BAL, and you'd expect like their experience to show, but it didn't. And this is the thing that actually surprised me the most, because Devin Eke played 7 minutes, 0 points. I was looking at Abdullahi Haruna. Abdullahi Haruna was listed as a DNP in this one. I think that they knew that they were already out, so they didn't even want to play him. Then we had Ater Majok. He played 39 total minutes, all damn near 39 total minutes, 11 points, 4 of 7 shooting. And I must say, he had the weakest game. Although he's one of those guys that I really looked at as somebody that can take a team to the next level. I must say that Nairobi City Thunder dodged a bullet on this one, because this guy just choked. After that 2022 championship, it's never been the same. Then Will Perry, he played damn near like 35 minutes. And the man only rested for 5 minutes in this one, and he still had a bad game. So that's very bad. Then you look at the whole roster for the Ville de Dakar team, you just wonder. Like, on paper, they looked like the solid roster, but they couldn't get the job done when it mattered. And that's the main reason as to why they're out right now. But on the flip side, if you look at USM team basketball, I know a couple of players, recorded some donuts, but we had like 3 DNPs in this one. But the guys who went out there and balled, Denga Koth was good. He played 24 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 4 boards. Patrick Hardy Jr., another solid contributor for this USM team, who was good. 29 points, 12 boards. Osiris Aldridge, he has been on and off, but in this one he was on because he had 22 points. Then Babakar Sane with his double of his own. So Firas Layani did not score as much because he only had 2 points in this one, but he had 10 boards in there. He led in boards in there, so it is what it is. So I was very shocked to see some players, especially for the Ville de Dakar, not rise to the occasion. But I mean, they just choked away the last 3 games and they just ruined it. They are not gonna be in BAL, and USM led in majority of the statistics, and that is one thing that I really liked, especially bench points. Bench productivity was great, and bench productivity, fast break points, points from turnovers, assists and total rebounds, statistics that help you win a basketball game. They checked all those boxes, and both teams were holding up pretty well in this game. But at the end of the day, the experienced team just had their way in there. And it's not about putting all the talent that you think that they are good. But I know they are good, but the team thought that they were good. It's one thing to assemble all talent, but it's another thing to make them all work together as a unit. So that's one thing that the Ville Dakar team did not understand, because there was this huge power grab that they made. I honestly felt like they can be able to do it, because you have seen some teams assemble. Like we could see like what Petro de Luanda did in BAL season, in BAL season 3, when they did that aggressive power grab. I felt like they could be able to go ahead and win it. They got Aterma Jog, they got Solo Diabate. They had all these players. And when I saw that, I felt like this team can win in BAL season 3. And they got beat in the semis. And that's just even with a strong regular season where they went 5-0, they lost in the semis. So I felt like so the way teams put star players together, they can be able to go ahead and win it. But unfortunately for the Ville Dakar team, with their efforts to get all the big name players, I mean, it's one thing to bring all these players there, but it's another thing to make them all work together as a unit. So that's one thing that they failed at. I didn't think that there was enough time for these players to gel well, which is something that is evident when it comes to team construction. So, man, it was just a sad situation. I mean, in front of 8,879 people, I mean, Ville Dakar could not be able to even qualify or even clinch for a playoff spot. And they had to settle for, staying at home and watching the games at home, just similar to how I'm doing it. So it's sad. The worst thing about the Ville Dakar team performance was, if you look at their record, they have a 2-4 record. 3 of the 4 losses came back to back in the final stretch of the games. They lost it. They lost against Creole Star in overtime. They lost to Petro de Luanda, and this one they lost to US Monastir. So you could just see, like, at the first half of games they were on top, and this goes to show you, like, the Sahara Conference just showed competitiveness and not backing down. Doesn't matter what type of performance is there. Just go ahead and play your best game. Because even in the third place matchup, you could see the third place matchup was between Creole Star and FS Derabat. You could see Creole Star had a better point differential, and that's the reason as to why they were able to win it. And not only that, they won more games than FS Derabat. So they were able to clinch it. So there's a high likelihood, if any team in the Nile Conference has a 3-3 record and is third place, they can be able to go ahead and qualify. And they have a very good point differential, they go ahead and do it. So, I mean, this has been an interesting conference. I'll go ahead and drop a video giving a roundup of what I've seen. And, man, it's just crazy. And I also compare the Sahara Conference to the Kalahari Conference that concluded about 2 weeks ago. So stay tuned for that. So I'll also make a video talking about the all-round Sahara Conference, what I've seen, because I've seen a lot in, like, a series of 12 videos I've released. I've seen a lot in the Sahara Conference, similar to what I saw in the Kalahari Conference, which I covered every single game. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments section on what you think about this. I'm talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.